today we're back with a familiar friend, Micah Anderson, who is an extension horticulture educator at Langston University. But we're actually in Micah's personal yard today. Micah, thank you for having us here. I always love learning from you.
Well, thanks for coming. This is my garden here. The soil is a little heavy, but we're gonna keep working on it and try to keep making it better.
So we're just north of Piedmont, so people kind of have an understanding of where we're at and what kind of soil and environment we're working with. But one of the things that you're sort of experimenting with this year, you've always done plasticulture. We've done several segments with you about plasticulture, but the colors look a little Christmassy this year. Tell us why you're experimenting with these colors.
Okay, so with plasticulture, you can get a lot of different colors. We have some red over here, which is supposed to be good for strawberries and tomatoes, and that the strawberries could be somewhat sweeter and higher production, and also on tomatoes to get a higher production. And we did do some stuff on red back when I was at the Department of Ag, and it seemed like we did get higher production on tomatoes, but I never did it with strawberries. Okay.
And I've heard of that, using different red color underneath tomatoes before. So there is a little more research with that. Is the red plastic very similar to the black plastic, or has there been any issues with that?
Yeah, well, it's a little different. If you hold it up to the sun, you can see through it. And what we found out when we done it with the tomatoes before, we got a lot of grass growing on it. So what I'm doing now, when I do red or green, and both of them is the same issue, as I'm putting black underneath it. And so these have black underneath there, so I won't get any vegetation growing underneath there.
Okay, so it's a 2-layer of plastic that way. All right, and so what is the green about?
So the green, what I read was that it could be good for your cucurbits. Cantaloupes get higher production, even maybe watermelons and cucumbers. So right now I've got cold crops planted here, some cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, and when that comes out, I'm going to put the cantaloupes and the cucumbers in there.
Okay, so there's not any necessarily effect on the cool season crops. You just are utilizing it while you have it here, right?
Yeah, there's nothing that I read on that I know of on the cool crop, but what we did do is we put cabbage here, cabbage there, broccoli. We put some on both just to see if there's any difference.
Okay, all right. And of course you got, it looks like a frost blanket on, because we're in that time of year when you never know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah, because we planted these plants. It got down to 25 degrees and 40-mile-an-hour wind that night, so we covered them up. Okay. And then it blew off of some of it back here, and we totally lost them. But the ones that didn't cover, that stayed covered, seems like they may make it.
Okay. Now, and there's different types. This is one that's a little bit more of the woven type, not perforated, but it is woven, kind of a spun material.
There's different thicknesses. This one here is a very light one.
Okay.
It only gives you about 3 to 4 degrees. There's heavier ones that gives you 5 or 6 degrees of protection.
So do you have to take this off pretty regularly, or can you leave this on? Will it actually hold too much heat in there?
I just left it on. We usually leave it on, but now that since this is a cold crop, once I take it off, I'm going to leave it off.
Okay. Okay.
But the main reason I had it on there was because they hadn't got rooted.
Okay.
And 25 degrees is pretty cold.
All right. Well, Micah, thank you so much for sharing this with us, and we look forward to hearing more about the plasticulture.
Yeah, I will definitely let you know how it goes.
We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.